We all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's comedy show, where we'll explore the riveting world of my career as an author. You know, they say writing is easy. You just sit down at a typewriter and bleed words onto the page. Well, I've taken that quite literally. Writing has always been my passion, or at least that's what I tell my therapist after every rejection letter. But hey, every author has their quirks, right? Some have writer's block. I have writer's avalanches. I've been called the master of suspense because you'll never know when my next typo is going to jump out at you. And before we dive into the hilarious world of writing, my manager wanted to remind me, Rusty, your books are so full of plot holes, they make Swiss cheese look solid. Enjoy the show, everyone. While working as author, this is what my manager said about my work. Rusty, your books are like treasure hunts for typos. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. Even autocorrect refuses to help you anymore. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? Your writing is so cliché, it's practically a how not to guide for authors. One day this is what my supervisor said about my work. I heard your latest novel was used as a sleep aid by the CIA. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. Your characters are so one-dimensional, they make stick figures look complex. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, your last book had more plot twists than a straight line. I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. It's like your idea of character development is giving them different names. One day this is what my supervisor said about my work. Your writing process is a mystery even to you. You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. Your novels are so dry, they make the Sahara look like a water park. So, there I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, your metaphors are so off base, they belong in a different galaxy. Just this Wednesday my colleague said this about me. Your dialogue is so stilted, it's like reading a transcript of a robot's therapy session. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. Your storytelling is like a GPS that keeps telling you to make U-turns. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. Your grammar is so atrocious, it's become a local legend. So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. Your pacing is so slow, it makes a snail on a leisurely stroll seem like a speed demon. It's like my superintendent woke up and decided to roast my work with this comment. Your novels are so predictable, I can guess the ending by reading the first page. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, your plots are so convoluted, they could give a maze a run for its money. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, your prose is so purple, it's like reading a bruise. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did. And it was, your novels are so unmemorable, they evaporate from readers' minds before they finish them. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. Your books are like a symphony of misspelled words. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. It's like you're on a mission to redefine literary disaster. Picture this. My executive's comment on my work went something like this. Your writing is so dull, it makes watching paint dry seem like an action-packed thriller. Guess what my manager said during our meeting? Your books are so boring, they've been banned in insomnia clinics. So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. Your prose is so flowery, it's like wading through a field of cliches. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. Your plots are so full of holes, they make Swiss cheese look solid. The other day, my boss had this to say about my work. Your characters are so forgettable, they could be extras in their own stories. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my team said this about my work. Your novels are so long, they come with a complimentary backache. One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. Even your spell checker has given up on you. While working some extra hours, my team said this. Your books are the reason why book clubs have a no refunds policy. We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. Your writing style is like a traffic jam of run-on sentences. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this. Your metaphors are so forced, they should be charged with assault. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, your novels are the perfect cure for insomnia. Let me share what my director said about my work on Tuesday. Your dialogue is so wooden, even trees envy it. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. Your literary awards are all for most use of red ink. Another day I went to work and my manager said, your writing is like a roller coaster with no ups and all downs. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? Your novels are like a maze without an exit. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. Your cliffhangers are more like cliffhangers. I couldn't believe it when my executive remarked this. Your novels are so poorly edited, they come with a good luck note. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. Your writing is the reason why editors have nightmares. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. Your books are like a symphony of typos. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. Even Shakespeare is turning in his grave after reading your work. So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. Your books are like literary roller coasters, except they only go downhill. So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. Your writing is so confusing, it's become the official language of labyrinth designers. Just this Wednesday my colleagues said this about me. Your novels have so many loose ends, they're practically fashion statements. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. Your stories are like a never-ending tunnel with no light at the end. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, even Google can't decipher the meaning of some of your sentences. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, your characters are so lifeless, they make zombies seem lively. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. Your writing is like a GPS that always leads to dead ends. Another day, I went to work and my manager said, your metaphors are so overused, they've applied for retirement benefits. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. Your books are so dense, they have their own gravitational pull. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, your novels are like a maze, but without the fun or the prize at the end. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, your storytelling is like a broken record, stuck on the same cliché. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. Your novels are like a never-ending PowerPoint presentation with no bullet points. While working some extra hours, my team said this. Your writing is like a puzzle with missing pieces, and readers are left scratching their heads. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? Your dialogue is so artificial, it could pass for a robot's conversation. The other day, my boss had this to say about my work. Your books are so verbose, they make encyclopedias look like tweets. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this. Your plots are so convoluted, they could be used as a form of torture. One day, this is what my supervisor said about my work. Your novels are like a marathon with no finish line. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did. And it was, your writing is like a Rubik's Cube with no solution. One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. Your books are so bad, they make the worst books ever written list look like classics. So, there I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, your prose is like a language from another dimension, and readers need a Rosetta Stone to decipher it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight for a hilarious journey through my authorial adventures. I hope you've had as much fun as I have, even though my books are more exciting when they're used as doorsteps. Remember, if you ever need a sleep aid, just pick up one of my novels, and you'll be counting sheep in no time. But before I go, I've got a special message from my manager. He said, Rusty, your books are so bad that even the dictionary wants to file a restraining order. Thank you, and good night. Don't forget to grab a copy of my latest bestseller, How to Put an Audience to Sleep in 10 Pages or Less. Thank you for being here and have a good day. See you on the next one.
And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?
Hey, I may be the worst at my job, but at least I am entertaining. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your manager is saying about your work. And if you didn't enjoy this show, well, I promise I'll try even harder to disappoint you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay employed and keep smiling.